Hello there guys, my name is Coach Charlie, YouTube channel, Dogs to the Board, for Theme Park News, and welcome to a Theme Park Newsroom update from Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Now this is on Project 2021, and something that I spotted which looks very interesting. Now, if you want to check out the article about it, then go in the comments down below, the description down below, and have a look at that article. But basically this article talks about a supposed document that they've acquired. Now they can't release it due to, I believe, due to the fact that, you know, if it gets leaked in any way, they could trace it back to them and they'll get done. So fully understand why they haven't released the document publicly. So fair play to BGW Fans, because that's who it is. They released the article about it. But basically there are a couple of images on the document that they've drawn themselves for a couple of things, which I'll explain in a bit. So I've got all the information, if it's real, this document is real, from the article. I'm going to sort of explain my thoughts to it afterwards as well. So let's get on then with all the information on this document about Project 2021. So you can see on your screen now, Fandomidorsy, just to sort of give you the vibes of Project 2021. That is a picture of the former coaster sitting in the site where this is looking to go. So this is the old Drakenfire. Now this last operated in 1998. It opened on the 4th of April 1992 and it closed in July 1998. Originally built with 6 inversions. It had a diving corkscrew which immediately followed the butt brake, and it was removed after the 1994 season, and it was shut down in July 1998 with initial plans to modify the coaster. So very important fact there. They decided to sell the coaster and no buyer was found, and it was taken down so the steel could be recycled in the starting of the fall of 2001 and completely removed by March 2002. Now 2021, all these years later, the Drakenfire plot of land looks set to be used. Now let's have a look then at the details of the article then. So if it is real, Project 2021 will be a roller coaster using the Drakenfire's old station building. The coaster will run trains consisting of 4 cars each car holding 4 riders in a 2x2 configuration. The document depicts a reverse direction of travel through the station, which compared to the buildings used during the Drakenfire days, with trains entering the southwest side and exiting the northeast side of the building. Drakenfire's entry ramp, station entry ramp, is slated to be reused as the entry ramp for the 2021 investment. The building's existing exit ramp will not be used according to the document, and instead a new exit ramp will be built to run parallel to the existing entry ramp. Upon exiting the Project 2021 coaster train, riders will be walking towards the back of the train, so towards the southwest side of the Drakenfire station building, ascend up a flight of stairs, cross over the station track like the Bolton's exit path if you want a comparison, descend a staircase on the load side and continue down a new exit ramp. So a rough interpretation of the floor plan in the document and an image depicting the guest flow through the renovated Drakenfire building, that's all on the BGW Fans article, which I've put in the description down below. So make sure you go and have a look at that. It's not stuff from the document, this is just a rough interpretation of what they saw on the document. So make sure you go and check that out so you get an idea of what we're looking at here. So, assuming this document is the real deal, the blockbuster news is that it is a coaster. Now, I completely agree with that. I cannot wait, because we could be seeing 2 back-to-back roller coasters at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. And I'll get on to types of coasters and that in a little bit. So, pairing this information with the recently approved 355-foot height waiver and the soil test throughout Fest Horse Park, it's hard to picture this attraction being anything other than a monstrous giga coaster of some sort. Now, don't jump on the trend of B&M giga. A giga could be anything. It could be a giga in terms of height, as well as, you know, the type of coaster that B&M do. But it's not just a B&M giga that's in the open here, and I'll talk about that in a bit. So don't comment down below and say it's not going to be a B&M giga straight after a multi-launch. I'll talk about the other giga options in a bit, and if you've ridden a particular coaster at PortAventura that opened a few years ago, you'll understand what I mean. So possibly much like the Monstrous Giga rumoured and then cancelled a few years back under the codename Project Madrid. So that's possibly if they go for the B&M option. So the rough train outline depicting in the floor plan provides us with interesting data. So the coaster cars are in a 2x2 configuration. It's easy to strike Bolger and Mabillard from possible manufacturers. So it's a pretty important step seeing that B&M is one of 3 coaster manufacturers which has ever built a 300-foot tall coaster. The short length of trains, however, suggest that this could yet be another launch coaster. So the link plan depicts 8 rows of seats, which is a lot closer to Red Force's 6-row trains or Kingda Car's 9-row trains than Intimidator 305's 16-row trains. If this is another launch coaster, it will be the park's 4th since Tempesto, Verbolten, Tempesto, and of course next year's Pantheon. So with this all information together, we're looking at a speed-focused launched Giga possibly. So that could be a type of Red Force coaster, not necessarily the B&M with a launch. In that Fest Horse Park area sometime in or around 2021. So that's just sort of all the reasons if this is happening, if this document is real and this is set to all go ahead. Now, like I said, make sure you go and see the full article with the reasons why it might not be in the description down below. However, what I would like to mention is that I picked up from the if it's not real section, it'd be the biggest fake news ever, because they said in the article that everything that needs to check out checks out. So it looks pretty likely that this could be real and this could be a coaster in the next year after Pantheon as well. Now, like I said before, I'm not jumping straight on the trend of a B&M Giga. I'm jumping on the trend of a Red Force type launch coaster on Dreckenfire's field. Now, of course, we did that video. We did a couple of videos on Project 21 before about the height waiver being approved, the height waiver in the first place. And I was talking about attractions. I was thinking, and I said in those videos, it will not be a coaster. It will not be a coaster. It will be a Starflyer or a better drop tower. How wrong was I if this is true, which it looks like to be? Like I said, everything that checks out seems to be checking out. So this looks pretty real from the sounds of it. So this looks to be another coaster, which, don't get me wrong, fantastic. Now I'm going to put another image on your screen right now. Fandabulosi. Now that is an image via Google Earth, and this is from the Dreckenfire plot of land. So you can see circled in yellow is the Dreckenfire plot of land. So quite a minimalistic space, but is enough for some development. Now I've also circled some land behind the Dreckenfire circle, which I've put some blue lines in, some blue shaded lines. Now that is potential space if they're going for a B&M Giga option and not a launched Giga like a Red Force or a Kingda Car. Now, as you can see there, plenty of plot of land to go into there. So I'm definitely excited about this. I definitely think that it's going to be a good coaster. But like I said, you know, whether it's B&M, whether it's an Intamin, one of these accelerator coasters like a Red Force or a Kingda Car, but, you know, the list of possible 3 manufacturers that have built a coaster over 300 foot, B&M, Intamin, but you got to remember, other manufacturers can come in the game as well. Mack Rides can come in, S&S, Premier, you know, there's plenty of manufacturers, Vekoma, plenty of manufacturers can do a 300 foot coaster or above. You know, it could be literally anyone's game. You never know, it might not even be a B&M Giga, it could be one of the, think of Hyperion at Energylandia, but as a Giga. It could be that. Or, again, I think the most likely option, in my opinion, will, because of the cancelled Giga projects and them maybe not wanting to review and reopen those plans, I do think it's more likely to be a Kingda Car, Red Force type Intamin accelerator coaster. Not a strata coaster. We're not Top Thrill Dragster just yet. But I'm thinking a launched Giga like a Kindercar or a Red Force. I'm thinking something like that. Of course, Kindercar is obviously not a Giga because it's the tallest coaster in the world. It is a strata coaster, as is Top Thrill Dragster. But you're looking at that type of coaster. You're looking at a Red Force at Portaventura's Ferrari Land, or Ferrari Land at Portaventura World. You're looking at that type of coaster, in my opinion. So, I think if this is real, fantastic. Cannot wait. And like I said in the article, it would be the biggest fake news possible because everything that needs to be checked out checks out according to the article. So, I'm really ecstatic that we could be seeing a multi-launch in Pantheon, definitely coming next year, and then the year after, we could be getting a Red Force type launch coaster, or if it's not a launch and it's just shorter trains, a normal B&M Giga on Drakenfire's plot of land. It's nice to see Drakenfire's plot of land getting used at all. Now, don't forget, in the last video on Project 21, I did say that it was most likely not going to be a coaster. How wrong was I again? I think at the minute, my predictions of a Starflyer or an even better drop tower, which would lead to the removal of Map Tower in the future, I think those predictions are on hold while these documents seem to be flying all over the place on a new coaster for 2021. So, very excited about this, really happy, can't wait to follow the developments on this. I followed a couple of developments, 2 or 3 developments already on Project 2021, and look how far we've come from a Starflyer or a new drop tower to a brand new coaster. So thank you very much for watching this Theme Park Newsroom update from Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss a YouTube video. And for now guys, my name is Curtis Shaw, Doncaster born, but built for Theme Park News. Keep living the coast life, and I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Take care, have an awesome day, my friends.